Hi friends, and welcome to Gilded Loop. My name is Matt, and today I'm bringing you another yarn review. And I'm super excited about this yarn review because it's another new yarn that just recently came out. This yarn is from Caron, or Caron, and this is the Caron Simply Me Luster yarn. Now they have several, I don't know what I would call this, like a variegated shade, if you will. And then they have some solids. I didn't get any of the solids. I just got the variegated shades, but I have several variations of that. I tried to get all of them, but Yarnspirations always messes up my order. They do fix it, but I always have to wait. And I'm missing one of the colors that I ordered, which is pearly, which is kind of the white pearl kind of iridescent one. So I'm excited to get that, but that won't be in this review, unfortunately, because I wanted to be able to get the review to you as soon as possible, considering that this is a new yarn. But I will end up using it when it does come. I'm super impressed by this yarn. The only place that I think that they have it right now is Yarnspirations, but I did notice that Michaels is now carrying one of the Caron Simply Me, just not the Luster version, because I think there's 3 different Simply Me lines, and they're carrying the one that's kind of like a marbly look. I can't remember the name of it, but the Luster is super, super impressive. So let's go ahead and share some of the stats for this. So, again, this is Caron Simply Me Luster. It is a 6-ounce skein, 360 yards. It is 35% acrylic, 65% nylon. It is recommending a 5mm crochet hook and also 5mm knitting needles. It is a US H for the hook size. It is a 4 medium weight. And let's see, the care instructions. What does it say? Care instructions, reverse side of the label. Well, that's kind of what I want to know if we are dealing with a lay flat to dry situation or what. Instructions. Care instructions. Wash in water not exceeding 86 degrees Fahrenheit, so like a warm water or cold water setting. Do not bleach, tumble dry, low heat. Do not iron, do not dry clean. So yeah, so it is washable and dryable. You just can't wash it in like hot water. But it does say tumble dry, low heat. Caron, we love that. All right, so let's go ahead and go over some of the colors that I have. And I will have swatches at the very end. So this color is called Ruby. And what you're gonna notice, hopefully you can see this, it is like a variegated color, but it has black, like a black halo, like black kind of mixed in with it. So it almost comes off like an iridescent shade or an iridescent style look to it. All of these do, and they're metallic-y. If you like metallic, it's like a metallic iridescency mixed in with black. But because it's not all black, it will be easy enough to crochet and see your stitches. Hopefully this is helping. This is a chain link style yarn, so that means that it's like almost like a hollow tube. The ideal thing for these is they don't split. When you have this style yarn, splitting doesn't really occur. So I do think because of the halo, frogging might be an issue, but we'll see when I do the swatches. So anyway, this is Ruby, and I really think that it's just not even going to do it the justice that it needs. but I will also say, because of this black halo, it is soft as butter. This is softer than Caron Simply Soft. This is, I'm trying to think of something comparable. I would even say soft as like the Bag a Day Tonal Hues yarn. That's so soft. This is very soft as well. Feels super, super nice against the skin. So we have Ruby. All right, so the next shade that we have here is Adventurine. Now Adventurine is blues and greens, again in that kind of black fuzzy halo. So hopefully you can be able to make out this color and that it's coming in clearly for you. Again, I will have swatches of these, so you'll be able to see closer up examples towards the end of this video. So, Ruby and Adventurine. The next color that we have is Sable, and Sable is gold and copper and like a rose gold. Look at that. There. I love metallic yarns, and this is just like the metallic is, it's just part of the yarn. It's not like some of the glitter yarns that have like the tinsel wrapped around the yarn. It's like, it's part of the yarn because it's that chain link construction to where, again, it's like, you know, it's like a hollow tube, but it's just, it's the yarn is just metallic. It's absolutely stunning. This is a beautiful color for anyone who wants to go for like golds. It really does pick up the gold sheen to it and is super soft and lovely. I really hope that Caron keeps this yarn around for a long time because I am absolutely loving it. Okay, next color that we have here is Amethyst. Obviously, amethyst would be several different shades of purple. Hopefully those are all coming through. Metallic-y shades of purple. Again, the metallic strands, it's intertwined with this black halo. So soft, 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 soft. Absolutely loved it. And then the last one that I have here is, this is called Soda Light. And Soda Light is blues and teals mixed in with that black halo. Blues and teals in with the black. So just trying to show you some of the yarn close up so you can see it in the ball, because I have a feeling that when I work up these swatches, I'm going to have to work up a good majority size of this yarn ball. It shows on the ball band a kind of mesh knit sweater. And if you're trying to gauge anything, it says that this takes 3 to 4 balls. So about 3, I think, just depending on your size. Yeah, for a small, medium, it's 3 skeins, and for a large, it's 4 skeins. So if that kind of helps you tell like how many skeins that you would need. Again, that's a mesh knit construction sweater, which I think would absolutely be very beautiful. So again, we have Soda Light for the blue. We have Sable for golds and coppers. We have Amethyst for purple. We have Adventurine for greens and blues, majority green. And then we have Ruby for this beautiful maroons, reds, some purples, and even there is some copper, not as bright of copper as this, but there is some copper in this. I do want to make note that this goldish one has, although it does have the black halo kind of built into it, it's less of it than some of the other ones, and it really kind of lets the gold colors shine through. I will absolutely say with certainty, having a love for metallic yarns and always searching for gold is hard to find. It's hard to find where it's not just the tinsel wrapped around the yarn. It's hard to find where it's actually part of the construction of the yarn itself. And it's also hard to find where it is baby soft. So I think this is a winner. The sable one for sure is a winner, and can really make some beautiful products. So without further ado, let's go ahead and cut over to the samples that I put together for us. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at some of these yarns. And we'll be able to see the swatches that I've worked up as well. And then we'll end on a wash and dry test for one of the colors. So stay tuned for all of that. So again, I know that I was looking back and it doesn't look like the lighting was really great when I showed the close-up before. So I'll show you here because I know the lighting is great here. So again, this is amethyst. And just think of purple jewel tones, all the different shades of purple in the jewel tones, and with that, just that metallic, and mixed in with the black, and you can really see the halo coming off here, the black halo. So beautiful. So this one, here is the swatch that I worked up. It's gorgeous, right? So this is just a double crochet V-stitch. I wanted to really show and highlight a more meshy stitch for this particular yarn. It is absolutely my opinion that this yarn is ideal for garments. And this is so lightweight. Like if you were going to make a shirt, or you wanted something a little bit more lightweight, this is not going to be like a super thick, like heavy, hot fabric. You'll definitely be able to make a garment that's definitely more lightweight. This this kind of meshy V-stitch is super lightweight. It's got a nice drape to it. Now, on the ball band, it recommends a 5mm hook, and that's exactly what I used. I used a 5mm H hook. I used a clover hook for this. And I think that was a great call. The 5mm seemed to work really well with it. The clover hook really glided on the fabric very well. No snags, no issues frogging either. It frogs really well. And I'll just show that here. So if I were to see frog, there's really no snagging. It just pulls out very easily. Now that, again, is the double crochet V-stitch, and you can really just kind of see all of these purple jewel tones, and this almost comes off a little bit silver, but it's not. It's more just like a lighter metallic-y purple. So they're all really different shades of purple, but it's got a little bit of almost like a silver casting to it mixed in with the black. So, really beautiful. Hopefully the camera really did that justice. This is a gorgeous color. If you like purple, this could make just stunning garment. So that's amethyst. Now, let's go ahead and look at the blue. So, with the blue, this one is called Soda Light. And here's a little bit more close up. Now you can tell that there's definitely more blacks in here than there was with the amethyst. See, the amethyst is more purples and the black is more subtle, where the black is more of a player in this blue soda-like color. So we have blacks, we have like a tealy color, we have like a royal blue color. It's very, very pretty. You could definitely make a garment for this for a guy, and even though it's got some of the, I don't want to call it glitter, but the metallic-y look, I think it would still go off very nicely. So this, I kept it very simple, and we just did a double crochet, just standard double crochet on this. Now this is kind of the far off distance. You can see a lot of the blacks throughout, and you can see just kind of that subtlety of the blue. Like I said, this is, if you're looking for a more masculine color, you could definitely pull this off. If you are not necessarily looking for the masculine vibe, you're just wanting it because you like, blue eyes and you love the color blue, this will absolutely work for you as well. Again, this is double crochet, and it is super light and airy. It's not heavy or thick at all. That's why I think that I really wouldn't use this yarn for blankets. I would use it for more decorative style scarves, not scarves that you're trying to stay warm with. But I think garments like shirts and sweaters and things that you want to be very pretty but don't have to have a whole lot of warmth, this is your go-to for this. So anyway, this is the blues. You can really see all the different colors and the blacks. It's stunning. This is just your standard double crochet. You can hardly tell because the yarn does a lot of the work for you and speaks for you. You're not having to worry about as much of the stitch pattern. The stitch definition is not going to be super noticeable because of the yarn itself. However, it's noticeable enough. It's your pattern that you're going to use, whether you have something as simple as this, you're looking for a nice pattern where you have some visual interest, and that will really set it off nicely. All right, next we're going to go to, I don't have the ball band on this one, but this is Ruby. Let's look a little closer up with Ruby. As we can see, all the different shades of Ruby. So this is like a copper tone. So you have some copper, and with the black halo, you have a lot of these rubies and magentas in here. I think it's really quite a beautiful color. Now, let's take a look at the sample that I worked up. Now, I worked up a standard C to C square. So this is just your standard C to C cluster. And you can see the stitch definition here. It's really just the stitch pattern that you're seeing because a C to C has natural texture kind of built into it. But very nice. You can really see there's some of those copper tones. So you have magentas, almost like a deep chocolate mixed in with, that little bit of black halo and really this magenta ruby-esque color. So I think it turned out beautiful. Again, still super lightweight. The other two were a little bit more lightweight than this, but still very, very lightweight. I just think garments is where you're at, or like a decorative infinity scarf or something along those lines. But that is Ruby. She's beautiful. Okay, now let's come to this here. So here we have sable. This is one of my favorite colors. This is gold and coppers, almost like an orangey copper. All the different colors in the gold colorway that you could possibly think of. Look at that lusciousness. This is one where looking at the ball doesn't do it justice for what it works up as. And you don't see a lot of the black in here, but the black halo works its way into the pattern. You can really see the halo. So this is the swatch that I worked up. This is an interlocking shell stitch. Let's come a little bit closer so you can really see. This has just, you want your pattern to have the texture in it. And this certainly does. Texture for days, but you see a lot of the coppers and the golds. The copper comes off heavy in this. If you look at it from a distance, it definitely has more of that copper vibe to it. Copper with golds. So if you're looking for a coppery gold tone, this is a wonderful yarn to select. The interlocking shell stitch is usually heavy, and this is not. It is still pretty lightweight. So again, I think that you could make a cardigan or even just a shirt and not be dying from heat exhaustion. So absolutely stunning. She's beautiful. I love, love, love this colorway. Hopefully you do too. Okay, so that was Sable. And last but certainly not least, we have star of the show. This is the one that we're going to be doing the wash and dry test with. So this is Adventurine. Adventurine is one, again, where you look at it and you don't see a ton of the black. It's more the black halo will work itself into the pattern, but you're not seeing lines of black like we did in that blue. But this one has this cobalt blue, lots of teals, and some greens in there as well. You can really kind of make out and see all the different colors. Okay. Again, this is Adventurine. And I just did a standard granny square with Adventurine. This really kind of lets you see, again, a more of a lacy style pattern. I use same 5mm hook. But think about, look at this. And then I want you to think about potentially a, like making yourself a hexy cardigan out of this. I think any of these colorways, if you make a hexy cardigan, maybe pick 2 different colorways, or even maybe stick with one, but imagine pairing these 2 colors together. You have the same blues in with that, and then you add in the green. It would really just kind of softly elevate it. Or if you were going to go with ruby, and maybe you add in the amethyst, partnered beautifully. I would even say ruby mixed with sable, because remember ruby had some of those copper elements to it. I think those would go very nice together. But anyway, so this is Adventurine again. This is just your standard granny square. And this is very much like, have you seen those beetles that have like the gorgeous like green blue back? This is what that reminds me of. It's very metallic-y, and you have your greens and your blues and all of that. Okay, Now let's go ahead and do some measurements of this before it goes in the washer. Now, just to remind everyone of what this says for washing. It said, oh yes, it was on the ball band. So let's take a look at that ball band. I don't know why they had to put the care instructions on the inside, but care instructions. Wash in water not exceeding 86 degrees. Do not bleach. Tumble dry low heat. Do not iron. Do not dry clean. So I'm going to wash this in warm water, not cold, not hot. And I'm going to tumble dry on low heat. And we have this 7.5-inch square right now by 7.5-inch square. So we're just going to check and make sure that we're not having any shrinkage and that it still looks reasonable and not like tons of peeling or anything like that when we come out. So we'll have the results here in just 1 second. Okay, we have finished our wash and dry test, and this is our final result. So, just a visual inspection. I don't see pilling, so that's good. But the fuzziness is amplified by 4 times as much. So all of the, look at the halo on this now. It's like super fuzzy. I still like it. I still think that it would make fantastic garments because, you know, you see sweaters with a little bit of fuzz on it like that. So I think it would be perfectly fine. The softness, oh my gosh, like if I'm comparing these two, after wash and dried, it is so soft. It's like a cloud. So, very soft. This is still soft, but this is like next level. But, do you see the difference in this halo and this halo? Look at the little halo on this. It's just like a little bit of fuzz. Look at the halo on this. It's a little bit of fuzz. The fuzz halo definitely grew. All right, size-wise. I'm telling you, it's really soft. It would really make nice soft garments. Softness, size-wise, we're at 7 inches. I'm not gonna be able to pull that to no 7.5. It's a solid 7 inches there, and a solid 7 inches here. So if you remember, we were at 7.5 inches. So we lost about 1/2 inch after washing and drying. Especially with making garments, keep that in mind. So again, just another close-up. It's still very beautiful. You can still see a lot of the metallicness to it. That did not go away. It's still nice and shiny. It is, I mean, obviously it's a very shiny yarn. So you still have a lot of the shine. You just picked up some more of this fuzz. So my overall consensus of this yarn is I love it. I still think it's going to make great garments. You are going to lose a little bit of size after washing and drying, but the softness level is double fold from what this is compared to this. The softness is at least double. The halo or fuzziness on this is low, but noticeable, very high. I'm just grabbing nothing but the halo right now, and I'm still able to hold on to it. I mean, like I said, have you ever had like an Angora fur style sweater? It's got fuzz attached to it, so the fuzz is not undoable or unmanageable. I think it's still very nice. So overall, I still really do like this yarn. I do plan on using it myself. I absolutely would use it in wearables, and I will be making a sweater with it myself. I would not use it for blankets. I would not use it for a scarf or hat that you want to keep warm with, but I would use it with a scarf or hat that you want to be decorative, like an infinity scarf or something that you're just looking for beauty with. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to this tutorial for Caron Simply Me Luster Yarn. I really appreciate you tuning in, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of the things. In the description box below, I do have a link to Yarnspirations website to where you can get this. I am now also officially an affiliate of Yarnspirations, so if you do use the link in my description box, I will be able to receive a small commission, so you'll be helping the channel. Again, with being an affiliate of Yarnspirations, the first thing that I checked on to make sure is that I can still give you honest reviews, which, as you can see, I have definitely given you some honest feedback about this yarn here today. Me being an affiliate, the only thing that it does is allows me to earn a commission if you go through the link in the description box. I'll also put it in pin it in the comments as well, so you can get to it very easily. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.